We have fought our way back, and we know in our hearts that for the United States of America, the best is yet to come.
On election night, the president told America the best is yet to come. And judging by his second-term agenda, he's setting his sights high. Sweeping change to gun control, immigration reform, taking on climate change, cutting the deficit, and oh yeah, lowering unemployment. Make no mistake about it, it's ambitious. But the president is entering his second term with a job approval among the highest since the early months of his presidency. His favorability rating has jumped 9 points in the last 3 months. How about that? And at the very same time, the other side is fractured, destroying itself. They're stomping their feet at rational gun reform. They're even threatening impeachment over the issue.
We want all tools available to use, including the impeachment.
If he continues this, could that build up to make a case for a possible impeachment?
All options should be on the table, undoubtedly.
And if that weren't enough, they're back. That's right, the birther brigade is stronger than ever. A new poll finds that 64% of Republicans think it's, quote, probably true that President Obama is hiding important information about his early life. 64%. You can't get that many Republicans to agree on anything. No wonder the GOP's gone off the deep end. And no wonder the president's looking better than ever. Joining me now is Jonathan Capehart, opinion writer for the Washington Post and an MSNBC contributor. Thanks for coming on the show tonight.
Thanks, Rev.
64% of the GOP has questions about the president's early life. How do you explain that?
Well, look, 64% questioning the president's early life. That could be the birthers. That could also be those folks who follow the line of Donald Trump, who question the president's academic performance, who want to see the president's college transcripts to figure out how he got into Columbia and how he was able to get into Harvard Law School. Look, I think the problem here is, and the reason why the birther lie won't die and all these other questions about the president's past won't die, it's because there's no grown-up within the Republican Party who will stand up and say consistently, cut the nonsense. The president is legitimately the president of the United States. He is an American. He was born here. Questions about his academic performance and asking for his college records are beneath him and beneath the office of the president of the United States. Unfortunately, there's no one who will do that. Not Speaker John Boehner, not Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, not even Mitt Romney, who was the standard bearer of the party in 2012 for the presidency.
Now, Jonathan, when you look at this, the birther movement hasn't gone anywhere. They're still going strong. There's been 100 court cases filed to prevent the inauguration ceremony Monday, citing Obama's overseas birth. And you know, I wonder where that GOP base got the idea from that the president wasn't born here. It certainly wasn't just Donald Trump. Look at this.
No one's ever asked to see my birth certificate. They know that this is the place that we were born and raised.
All I can tell you is that the general consensus is that he has produced a birth certificate. The question is it legitimate?
Look, this is the easiest problem to solve. All the president has to do is show it.
So why is this important? Because if you've dehumanized the president, if you made him un-American, you've made him other, then you don't deal with him because he's not really American, he's not really legit. And if you convince your constituents of that, you can't make a deal with him. So going forward, how do we make progress when you've tried to paint this picture on the president, even when it doesn't work, when he's so overwhelmingly popular?
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I mean, this speaks to a larger problem for the Republican Party. And yes, the president is popular. I mean, you showed the Pew polls job approval rating for the president, which is at 52%. The Washington Post ABC News poll puts the president's job approval rating at 55%. The president is wildly popular. He was reelected he was reelected with more than 50% of the vote in a convincing and decisive way. And what you have happening is that the Republican Party is continuing what seems to be its willingness to keep itself a reactionary regional party that's not terribly interested in governing, but instead is more interested in doing battle with someone who they think is illegitimate and is willing to contemplate, entertain, and even promote ideas that are, lies, that are racist lies, and that do nothing to solve the problems facing the country, and certainly do nothing for the Republican Party's ability to convince people that they should be entrusted with governing.
Yeah, well, I think that's the problem. I think that they painted themselves into a corner because here's a man that is very popular. With all they threw at him, they were not able to bring down his numbers and not able to stop him from being reelected at a wider margin than President Bush. So now you've painted yourself in a corner where you've dehumanized somebody that is probably the most popular political human in the United States. Jonathan Capehart, thanks for coming on the show tonight. Coming up, Republicans tap Paul Ryan to lead them back to their winning ways. You know, Paul Ryan, the guy who lost in November. We'll go inside the GOP's big unity conference tonight. But first, Governor Rick Scott did everything he could to suppress voters in Florida. But today, he's suppressing his own memory. This is one you need to hear. You're watching Politics Nation on MSNBC.